Well, I mean, I guess it looks better when we're working harder. Appreciate it.
Really impressive.
Oh my God. Thank you.
They're going to ask you questions about your time.
A very good morning, everyone, and welcome to our LIV Golf Team Championship Miami Selection and Press Conference. Thank you so much to everybody who's joining us here this morning. Welcome, welcome. We have an amazing weekend ahead of us as we'll be crowning our 2023 LIV Golf League Team Champion on Sunday. It's going to be a treat all week. Now, this tournament works a little bit different from the last 13 events. This is a straight-up team tournament consisting of all 12 teams competing. So bear with me, this is how it works, okay? The 12 teams were ranked based on how they performed the previous 13 tournaments. The top 4 teams have a bye. Those teams are 4 Aces GC, Crushes GC, Torquay GC, as well as Range Goats GC, which is why they're not here with us this morning. That leaves us with 8 teams left to play Friday, with 4 teams advancing to the next stage. Each matchup on Friday consists of 3 matches, 2 singles matches, and 1 foursome match. Each match consists of 1 point. If you win 2 points, you advance. Pretty simple. Captains must play each other in a single match, so that will always be one of the single matches. Pretty straightforward. Now, one of the caveats, though, the captains up here joining me at this table will get to choose which team they want to play. The highest seed gets to pick first, and then the next highest seed will then pick the following. So, with Stinger being the 5th seed, they will get to pick their opponent first. Now, before we turn it over to Louis, let's introduce all your 8 captains up here with me, starting with Stinger GC captain Louis Oosthuizen, followed by Fireballs GC Sergio Garcia, Ripper GC captain Cameron Smith, Smash GC captain Brooks Koepka, High Flyers GC captain Phil Mickelson, Cliques GC Martin Keimer, representing Majestics GC this week, Henrik Stenson. Last but not least, Ironheads GC Kevin Na. Okay, let's begin and find out which teams will face off each other on Friday afternoon. Let's have some fun. For the first pick, we've got Stinger GC, Captain Louis Oosthuizen. Louis, who you got?
We're picking the Ironheads.
Ironheads GC. So we've got Stinger versus Ironheads GC. All right, Louis, talk us through your decision. Why did you pick the Ironheads?
Well,
You don't have to be kind. You don't have to be kind. You can have a little fun.
no, I think, I think we were happy with that selection and didn't really want to play any of the other teams. Sorry, Kevin.
Well, you obviously knew you were going to be paired up with Kevin. Anything you want to say or add to that? Do you want to say anything to Kevin?
Kevin, is your mic working?
I think it is.
I don't know. Is it
Okay.
working? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to talk in it.
I don't have much
look,
to say.
We'll have some fun. But it's match play. I think we all know anything can happen there, but I think our team is ready to take them on.
Kevin, what about you? How you feel being, your team being the first to get picked out the gate?
I'm glad they picked us. The South Africans have been playing pretty well this year. I know they just missed being advanced to getting a bye to Sunday, and unfortunately, I think their luck is going the other way. And I have the better Southern African in my team, Scott Vincent.
Ooh.
That I think he's going to be,
I'm
the
agreeing
key
with
of
you there.
advancing. Forget the Koreans, but the Southern African.
All right, let's move along, shall we? With the second pick, we've got Fireballs GC. You get the second pick. Who do you have, Serge?
We're going to pick the Majestics.
Majestics GC, Fireballs versus the Majestics. All right, Sergio, why did you pick them? Talk us through that decision process.
No, I mean, I think every team is strong. No one of them is going to be easy. I just felt like our matchups could work nicely against Majestics. Obviously, we know what they're capable of, but they also know what we can do, and you know, we're in a good moment of the season for us, so we're happy about it.
Yeah, Henrik's got quite a stare that side of the the table. Henrik, I mean, Sergio obviously is, you know, but he's got one of the best records in match play. How do you feel going up against him?
Yeah, I mean, we all had our interesting moments down here at the RAL, so I think I'm feeling pretty good on the 13th. Yeah, I guess they just want to have a Saturday off.
Someone will.
Okay, next up, Ripper GC captain Cam Smith. You're left with not many choices. Who are you selecting in the quarterfinals?
The Cliques.
Cleeks GC. So we've got Cam versus Martin Keimer. Cam, I mean, they've just had a fantastic week in Jeddah. Collectively as a team, they've got their very first podium. Talk us through your decision process. How do you feel about the match?
I mean, to be honest, I thought Sergio was going to pick the Cliques, just given the ranking the whole season. But understandably,
Full of
the
surprises.
the guys had a good week last week, so maybe that went into the decision a little bit. And yeah, we're looking forward to playing them on Friday.
Martin, you're going up against Cam. He's obviously had a fantastic season. How are you feeling? What are your thoughts of your match and your team's matches?
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, playing against Cam's going to be tricky, but it's always going to feel nice if you have a chance to win against the Open champion. So I'm going to take on that challenge. We had a very good tournament last week, so we are coming in strong. Sergio was scared, obviously. So
Obviously.
yeah, he didn't pick us. No, but I'm very confident. You know, match play, anything is possible, and hopefully Cam's putter is not as hot as it usually is.
That would be a challenge.
That would be a challenge, but I'm up for it.
Okay. All right. Well, that leaves us with just two teams and a very intriguing matchup. Smash GC versus High Flyers GC, which means Brooks and Phil, you guys will get to play together against each other. Brooks, we'll start with you. You both are not strangers to any, you know, match plays. How do you feel going up against Phil?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really get much option in this, so yeah. So we're playing, or I'm stuck with Phil, and the rest of the guys will be playing the other guys. So it'd be a good matchup. It'll be fun. You know, we'll see how it goes.
Your thoughts, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Brooks has played some of the best golf of anybody in the world this year. He won the PGA. He played phenomenal in the majors, played phenomenal out here, just won last week. Like, it's not like there's a lot of other guys I'd rather be playing against. So I've got my work cut out for me, but I have the utmost respect for him, and anytime I have a chance to play with or against him, I enjoy it. And he is always professional to play with, play against, and I expect that we're going to have a fun match. But there's also a mutual respect between us that that I believe we share, and I think it's going to be, you know, very professional, and I'm hoping that I can play some of my best golf because I know I need to just make it competitive.
All right. Well, so there you have it. Our 4 matches for Friday, just to recap, it is Stinger versus Ironheads, followed by Fireballs versus the Majestics. Then we do have Ripper versus Cliques. And last but not least, Smash versus High Flyers. All right, now that we know the team matchups, we need to reveal the players that will be competing against each other. Now, this is the first time we're going to be hearing of all of this. I don't know who's playing against who either. Captains don't even know who the other captains have selected to play individual matches or the foursome, so this is going to be fun. Lots of great storylines. Now, as a reminder, the captains will play each other in the individual match play. So, it is now time to reveal the individual matches. First up, Stinger versus Ironheads. Obviously, we have Louis versus Kevin. The other singles match will be Brandon Grace versus Scott Vincent. And that leaves us for the foursome with Dean Burmester, Charles Schwartzel, Si-Hwan Kim, and Danny Lee. Louis, we'll start with you. How do you feel about the matchups? What was your decision to not put Brandon in the foursomes? Thank you, Siri.
Basically kept it the same as last year. Me and Brandon was on singles last year, and he's pretty good with doing his own thing. He gets in that little bubble that he normally gets in, and yeah, we put Charles and Dean together. The two of them has got to try and keep each other calm, which would be interesting to see. But no, we thought the two of them would be a great matchup, as foursomes.
All right, Kevin, what about you? Scott Vincent got the other nod for singles. Now, is this because of how he played in Jeddah?
Brendan Grace is obviously a strong player, and I felt like if the Stingers picked us, they would pick Brendan Grace as a single match. And like I said, I think I have the better Southern African, and I think it'd be a good match between them. And Si-Hwan begged me not to put in the individual, and he said that's why we got him with Danny. And as long as he doesn't hit the T-ball, I think we're looking really good. Love you guys.
Oh, punches. The gloves are off. All right. Next up, Fireballs versus Majestics. The captain singles will be Sergio versus Henrik. So the other singles match will be Eugenio Chakara versus Sam Horsfield. And the foursome will be left with Abe Answer, Carlos Ortiz versus Ian Poulter and Lee Westwood. Anything you got to say over there, Ian? They're ready. All right. Well, Sergio, you picked the Majestics with many teams on the board. Ian and Lee have, such a great experience with match play, Ian being one of the best, possibly in the game. How do you feel about Carlos and Abe going up against those two?
Well, first of all, I'm glad that he's ready to go now because he still has to wait a day and a half. So, fault. No, I think to be totally honest, obviously I talked to my team. We talked last week, and I would put Abraham and Carlos against anybody. We were joking about it yesterday, and I was like, I would put them against Brooks and Bryson, and I'll be very comfortable with it. So I think that I think it's a very, very strong team. Obviously, Eugenio, it's a wonderful player, and he's got so much potential, and a guy that can shoot a really, really low round any given day. So. I think like I said earlier, it's not going to be an easy match. None of them are going to be too. But I have a lot of faith in my guys, and I like the matchup, and that's what I went with.
You have a lot of experience in match play, obviously. Is there going to be some advice you're going to give to your boys?
We'll talk a little bit. I mean, they know what I have to do, but we always have little talks here and there to make sure that they're ready, and if they have any doubts, they know that I'm here to help in any way.
Perfect. Now, Henrik, what was your reason putting Sam in the singles instead of perhaps Poulter playing in the singles?
No, I think we saw that they were going to put Abe and Carlos together, and unfortunately they couldn't play Bryson and Brooks, so they got a tough matchup against Ian and Lee, and it just feels like we're gonna let Sam play his own game, and he's ready for that. So looking forward to Friday.
Okay, next up we've got Riffer GC captain and Cleeks, Cam and Martin. You guys are gonna play against each other. Let's see the other matchup. The other singles match will be Mark Leishman versus Richard Bland. That leaves us the foursomes. Matt Jones, Jediah Morgan versus Graham McDowell and Bern Wiesberger. Cam, let's talk about your selections with your team. Talk about Matt and Jed playing together, and why would you put Mark as a singles? What were your thought process?
Well, I think Leash has been playing some of the best golf out of anyone out here recently, so there was that. I think it's been pretty set in stone now for a couple of months. To be honest, Jed and Jonesy have known they're going to play together for a little bit now, so it's a really strong driving golf course, and Jed and Jonesy are two of the best drivers out here, so I think they'll be able to set each other up nicely. I think that'll be tough to beat.
Martin, interesting selection. Last year you had Blandy play with Graham in the pairings. You switched it up this year. What were your decision? Why did you decide to do that?
Well, Richard obviously had a very strong season. He played really well, very consistent. He also could have played foursome. Anybody would like to play with him because he doesn't make many mistakes. But I think, with G-Mac and Bernd, they have good Ryder Cup experience. They are very good in match play. So also consistent players, but Richard felt like, he really wanted to play singles. When I asked him, and the other two, they were happy playing foursomes, and I think it's a good matchup. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very difficult to win, but as I said, match play, I feel comfortable to playing against any team.
All right, last but certainly not the least, we've got Brooks playing against, I should say, Phil. So the other singles match, Jason Kokrak and Cameron Tringale. That will leave us with Chase Koepka and Matthew Wolff versus James Piot and Brendan Steele. Brooks, how are you feeling about your matchups? How are you feeling about, all the singles, your foursome match, playing against Phil, all that?
Yeah.
Feeling strong?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good about my match against Phil, as Phil should as well. Jay's been playing pretty solid this year, so I felt like he was the obvious choice to put him out in singles, and then Chase and Wolff to go in the foursome. I think he probably knew that was coming, so it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Well, Phil, you obviously didn't have much of a choice playing against Smash, but talk us through your decisions with Cameron playing the singles and James and Brendan playing in foursomes.
I think the other singles match with Jason Kokrak and Cam Tringale is going to be a really exciting match, because last year Smash played some great golf, got into the finals, and Jason Kokrak played exceptionally well in the finals, hit some great shots. I remember a shot he hit in a number 9. The pin was front right, and he just hit this shot in there like 3-4 feet. It's one of the hardest shots out here. He plays this golf course well, and I think it's going to be a really good match. Now, Camo's been one of our best players. He's been our best player throughout the year. He's been more consistent than just about anybody that I've seen. And Camo's got a lot of ammo in his game, and I expect him to come out shooting on Friday. And I think that's going to make for a very good match. I think that's going to be one of the most exciting matches that we have. And Steely and I guess Man of and Young Master Riot is they have a really good rapport with each other. And I feel like they have a lot of laughs. They have a lot of they uplift each other. And when they play together in our friendly matches, when they're partners, they just have a certain energy that brings out some good golf. And I think that's going to make for a really fun match. So I like these matchups because I think it's going to be some exciting golf.
All right, thank you. There it is, everyone. Your 4 matchups in the quarterfinals of the 2023 LIV Golf Team Championship. We're in for an absolute treat all week this week. Thank you to all of our captains for joining us this morning, all of our players, everyone who joined us here this morning. I will now turn it over to our lovely Jane to open up questions for the media. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, everybody. We are going to open it up to the press. I'm going to start with Mike McAllister, and then if you guys could just kindly raise your hand and let the guys know what outlet you're with and your name. We'll start with Mike.
So, Phil, a year ago, you and Brooks had a bit of a spicy back and forth. I don't think Brooks is wearing a green shirt today. Are you disappointed in that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to say but compliments about Brooks and his play and what he's done this year and what he's done for his own game, but also for LIV Golf. And I'm excited for the opportunity to play against him. But like I said, there's a lot of other guys I'd rather play against. I mean, he just won last week and he's played some exceptional golf. And I'm going to have to bring out some of my best golf just to make it competitive.
I wouldn't call that spicy. I've known Phil for a long time now, and I'm pretty sure that if there's anybody up here who can take the trash talk, it's Phil. So I wouldn't call that spicy.
You wouldn't call it spicy?
I would not, no. I'm pretty sure he'd say the same thing.
Yeah, it was subtle. That was very subtle last year for what we both are capable of, I would say.
All right. Martin, you weren't able to play here last year. How excited are you to get the opportunity to compete in the team championship?
Yeah, last year was very difficult, coming here, being the captain, not competing. But the team did well last year. They won their first match. So this year, obviously, I'm on the team. I know the golf course well from the past, from the World Golf Champion events that we played here, championship events. So my game is getting better. I'm still obviously recovering from my injury, but last week I played the way I usually play. So I'm back in form, I would say, and that made me that gave me a little bit more confidence going into this week. Obviously playing against Cam, as Phil said, I would also rather play against someone else, but that's how it is, and I look really forward to the challenge. That is one of the biggest challenges out here, and it's going to be a cool matchup between him and me.
And Cam, obviously you played well here last year, shot 65 in the final round, I think. How much are you looking forward to getting back on this course, especially after probably a little bit of disappointment last week?
Yeah, I enjoyed the golf course last year. I thought it was really fun. It's obviously a pretty tough golf course. I think from the team perspective, we played well in Bedminster, and these courses have a lot in common. Obviously different grasses and stuff, but they're tough, long golf courses with a lot of hazards on it. So yeah, we done well there, and there's no reason why we can't do the same again this week, this setup.
James?
Brooks, did you seriously not know you'd won an extra $4 million on Sunday? And have you got some crap for that since? Or?
No, I did not know. I was more interested in trying to win the golf tournament, and while you're out there, the leaderboard didn't show where the individual standings was, so I had no idea where I was at. I was more focused on trying to actually win an event.
So what was your reaction like after when you found out?
It's always a nice little bonus. I'll take that.
I have to ask this. Obviously, you've had problems in your team this year. How would you set about trying to integrate Matt back into the team this week?
Sorry, what was the last part?
How do you set about trying to integrate Matt back into the team this week, and because it's the team championship?
I mean, it's the same thing it is every week. He's only in control of what he can do. If I go win my match, Jay goes wins his. He only got to win 2 out of 3. So, Chase is his partner, so we'll see how that goes. Golf, anything can happen.
Do you have much interaction with him now?
No, I don't. We don't have much interaction now.
Is that a shame as a captain? Don't you think you should?
I've tried. I've spent majority of the beginning of the year trying to help and trying to figure that out, but I think it's past its point. I've tried. I've been very open on it with it, and sometimes you can't help people that don't want to help.
Mark?
Martin, could you talk about how your team's mindset might have changed based on that very strong finish in Jeddah, the 3 counting scores, 18 under, which is the best of all 12 teams?
Obviously we go into this week with a little bit more confidence than if we wouldn't have performed the way we did in Jeddah. I think Richard, it wasn't a big surprise for us that he played well, because he played fairly well all year, very consistent. It was just a matter of time, when you have one of those days when you make a few more putts, then you shoot those 6, 7, 8 unders. Graham and Bernd, they really didn't find their game this year the way it sounded when I talked to them. It was all there, but they couldn't really score. And when we played practice rounds, Bernd was playing good enough, but he couldn't get it done in the golf tournament. And GMAC was pretty much the same. And I think on Sunday they let loose, and it showed what they're capable of. And it was nice to see. I didn't mind to be the worst scorer on Sunday. That's a very good sign when we shoot 18 under par in 3 scores. And that is what you need in match play. You need a lot of birdies, and I think it's important knowing that you can do that. You haven't done it in a while, but recently you have, and I think that is big going into a match play tournament, and that definitely did change a little bit of the mindset going into this week, I would say.
Louis, question for you. We don't know the matchups yet for Saturday, obviously, on the basis that you guys are playing. We have a very unusual Saturday with England playing South Africa in 2 different World Cups. India, better time difference. France, not so much. Are you guys planning to keep track of what's going on with the rugby, or what is your plan?
They'll be watching it from the couch. I don't know what you're talking about. You make it seem
Good
like
answer.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, if
My
the,
boys are ready.
if the plans doesn't go well Friday, we probably are watching it from the couch. But hopefully we're not watching it from the couch. Yeah, look, it is a bit. We had a very good match the other day against France and going through to the semi-finals. So it's going to be brutal to miss it if we're on the golf course. But I'm sure we'll be watching it after the round somewhere.
Bob?
My question's for Phil. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Bob.
We saw your reaction last week to the OWGR ruling, and I just wanted to follow on that to you. They did open the door or leave open the possibility that LIV could resubmit its bid or its application. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that LIV should reapply? Do you think that they should make the changes that they're sort of hinting at to try to comply whenever that might be?
I guess I don't. I'm just bringing facts to life as to why that's happening. But really, we as a group, as a league, that's trying to grow the game and bring it globally and promote the game on throughout the world, and as well as bring something different than the old stodgy format that we've had for decades. We just need to focus on what we're doing and make our product as good as possible, as interesting as possible. We need to make tweaks into our program. The OWGR needs to obviously make tweaks, but we need to tweak our format to continue to evolve and be more interesting and easier to understand. And we have enough on our plate to make our product more and more exciting and appealing that we shouldn't worry ourselves with what they're doing. But I do want to bring to light as to why exactly they're doing what they're doing. It's not what they're putting out there, on the front page. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes as to the importance of us not getting points to the PGA Tour.
So if I could just follow, does that mean you think that even if you made the changes that they seem to be suggesting, more pathways to the league, it sounds to be the big thing, that it wouldn't matter?
I think that the majors need to protect their product, and there's probably other ways that they can do that by creating slots. If they want to make sure that they have the best fields in golf, they could create vehicles for players on LIV to play in the majors where they don't have to use the OWGR, which would undermine the TV contract and revenue of the PGA Tour if they gave points to LIV.
Adam?
Bill, right back to you. You had just following up on what you had said earlier. You said that LIV needs to continue to evolve. How would you like to see LIV evolve now that you've kind of seen it for one full season now?
Well, I don't feel like we have a lot of ideas internally, and I think we should keep that there because we still have to do not only we might have ideas, but we have to see if they're good ideas, if they're going to work. But when you're a startup, and we've only been around a year and a half, you look at the quality of players that we have already, and that's going to continue to improve next year, and it's going to continue to improve the following year. It's important that we continue to evolve our product, our presentation. This was kind of the idea at the beginning. Like, we thought, okay, we'll have the team championship, we'll have the individual part, we'll have the team part. But all of that is flexible and should be evolved so that based on fans' needs and wants, as well as television and other entities, so it's easier to understand and it becomes more appealing.
And then you got Cam last year, Brooks this year, two of the best players out here, not the easiest draws you've had for match play. Cam said last year that you had a bit of gamesmanship in your match, and he said you kind of took forever out there. You planning on using that again this year against Brooks to try and slow him down a little bit?
Forever is an understatement.
Yeah. You know,
I think we were 3 holes behind through 8 holes maybe or something.
The guys in front were making a lot of birdies, though.
Yeah, like I wasn't intentionally playing slow. I know that in the 21 PGA final round, Brooks felt the same way, but really all I was trying to do was get a visualization of the shot and get in kind of like my own little bubble and world. And so maybe I was playing slow, maybe I wasn't. It wasn't my intent. My intent was to get into a calm state and have a good visualization and play my best golf. And unfortunately, I lost on the last hole to Cam. But look, I'm going to be trying to do the same thing tomorrow. I'm not trying to play slow, and I'm always saying, look, go ahead, go ahead and hit. Like, I'm not trying to throw you out of your rhythm, but I'm not going to. I don't want to be taken out of mine either.
Tom?
Just for Brooks. Brooks, have you any discussions you've had with Chase? What the difference was this year to last year. He seemed to have a better year last year, and just where his game is, and your confidence that he can play his way back into the league.
Yeah, obviously he's got that option where he can go play Asian Tour and try to work his way back. That's up to him. I don't know. We haven't had that talk of just trying to figure out what exactly the next step for him is. Right, he's got to be confident in whatever decision he makes. And I can't knock him. He's tried. I mean, I've spent hours working with him at Grove. We've gone out and practiced a bunch. He hasn't given up. He's tried his whole way through, and I'll never knock anybody as long as they're going to give maximum effort. And unfortunately, look, I've been through spells. Everybody up here has been through spells where they just don't play good. So I think I've got sympathy for him when it comes to that. But he worked hard, and sometimes the results don't show right away. So hopefully they can show, if he chooses to go the Asian Tour route and keep playing over there, and hopefully he'll be making back out here. I'd love to have him again.
If I want to follow up, similar to what Phil answered, what is your stance on the situation with the World Golf Ranking points and the future with LIV and those points?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't dove into it that much. From coming back from, I think we were on a flight when it was announced, maybe going last week. I'm not really sure when it was, but I haven't looked into it too much. Yeah, it'd be nice if we got world ranking points, because at the end of the day, I think it's kind of hard to argue that some of these guys up here aren't the best players in the world, or these guys deserve to be in majors that have been in majors. So, hopefully there's a pathway for at least them to get into the majors, because I think there's quite a few guys out here that deserve to be in those.
One more for Brooks. Yanni from WPBF in West Palm Beach. How nice is it to have sort of a home game for you to finish out the season, coming off a win? And will your son be attending any of the rounds this weekend? Has he seen you on a course yet play?
No, he's not seen me on the course yet. Yeah, he'll be, him and Jen are going to come down later in the week. I don't think he's going to come to the course, but it'd be nice to finally, I guess, get done playing or get done practicing, whatever it may be, and get to go home and go spend time with him, and new experience for me, so I'm looking forward to it.
Hey guys, Teddy Fenton, luckiest golfers on earth. My question is for Cam, Brooks, Phil, and Kevin Na. All four of you have teammates that are in the relegation spot. There's going to be a promotion event that happens in a few weeks where they have one last chance to get in the top 3 to earn their spot back to LIV Golf next year. If one of your guys is in those, one of 3 spots, are you taking them back on your team? Cam, Phil, Kevin, and Brooks. What do you think, Cam?
There's a lot to think about there. I think, personally, and I think all the other guys up here know as well what Jed is capable of. We all saw it at Bedminster. It was one of the hardest days out there, and he blew us all away on Sunday. We know he can do that day in, day out. He just needs to do it, and we're all there to help him. And I think getting him back out here is, important. Also, if he wasn't to make it, I think a year where he could develop his game elsewhere and become a more consistent player and a better player might not be the worst thing. So there's a lot of stuff to think about. He's still a young professional.
What about you, Brooks?
Yeah, listen, I've watched Chase work over the last year and a half. Spent more time around him. It's been fun for me to see him evolve, grow as a person, grow as a man, and I'd take him back in a heartbeat. He's just got to go out and play good. It's simple as that.
Phil, Riot Pyatt, what do you think?
I mean, I think he's an incredible talent. Our team is very invested in his success, and we want him to succeed, and we've enjoyed our time together. And so he's a great addition to the team, and we're going to miss him if he's not on the team because of the many intangibles he brings. But the reality is I've been fielding calls, as we all have, from players that are free agents to PGA Tour players to DP World Tour players that want to come over. And, the spot's probably going to be filled by the time the qualifying tournament is here. So if I'm just being truthful, that's a very real possibility. But if it's not, and even if it is filled, there's always a possibility of a trade to get him back. I mean, there's things that could work out, but I think there's a good chance based on number of calls that we've had that the spot will be filled fairly soon.
And Kevin, what about C1?
Yeah, C1 has had a tough year. I played with him last week on Sunday, and I saw his game improve quite a bit. It's been difficult to watch, but I'd say for a guy who's gone through a rough year like this, he's been the best sport I've ever seen. He's been working hard every time, even though he's played poorly, he's tried every shot, and I give him props for that. And his game is coming around. We saw him last year, how well he played in Thailand and what he's capable of, and he winning the Asian Tour International Series money title. And we always tell him that, look, you're probably gonna go win one of those Q School, and we're gonna be back on the team. And if he doesn't, we're still gonna be friends. We are already talking about seeing him in Korea when we go over there and having a good time. And I think the friendship's gonna last forever. But we wish him the best, and we hope to see him back on the team.
James.
Phil, sorry, you said earlier on that you expect LIV to improve next year and have better players or more top players, and then you've said then that you've had loads of calls from DP World Tour players and PGA Tour players. Do you think there's going to be another sort of exodus, because it's been the drain sort of stopped, the move over stopped, but do you think we're going to get another tranche of it now?
Do I think that? No, I know that's going to happen. When players look at LIV, they're wanting to be a part of it. I mean, everybody here is happy and enjoying what we're doing and enjoying the team aspect of it and enjoying each other and the camaraderie and enjoying bringing golf globally and all the benefits that come with playing this tour. So there's a lot of players that see that and want to be a part of it. And the question is, how many spots are available? There's a lot more players that want to come than there are spots.
And you don't think the merger talks will affect that?
I think the merger talks allow for it. I mean, I think that it allows and kind of opens the door for that, yeah.
Because say the promotion event in December, start of December in Abu Dhabi, that's against a European Tour event, and they'll have to ask for releases. You still think that they'll go for it, even though they'll probably get fined? And
there's a lot of players that could be signed, not even through the qualifying. You know, there's spots on teams that are open that players want to come over and be a part of.
Anyone else? Great. Good luck this
No,
week.
I got a question. On Saturday, Sergio, when you're watching England play South Africa, which team will you support?
I don't know. You tell me.
See you on Friday.
See you then.
Good job, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We'll see you out there.